Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Homegrown Happy Hour podcast. Tonight, we are doing it Zoom style with my special guest, Mr. Tabor Mullins.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Here we are.
Yeah, man, we finally made it happen. Where
Yeah.
are you at exactly again?
I am in a little town called Morrow, about 40 minutes from Cincinnati, north. So it's chilly.
Yeah, I would say so, especially this time of year. Man, what made you move up there, if you don't mind me asking?
So I actually got a church gig, and it paid pretty good. And I was 19 at the time, I think. I was 19. And it was just one of those, I'm 19, I have, not too many obligations, and this church gig is cool, and it pays pretty good. And I just decided to come up and try that out, and I never left.
Hey, that's cool, man. Do you ever get a chance to visit Kings Island or anything like that while you're up there?
Dude, I am 10 minutes from Kings Island. Like I can see the fireworks from Kings Island when they do it every night.
Man, I'm so jealous. Do you like roller coasters and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, I get a little bit sick sometimes. I mean, I've ridden a decent amount of roller coasters, but I'm one of those people that I start getting a little funky after like the third one. But I'm just 10 minutes from Kings Island. I could be there in 10 minutes.
Oh.
Let's go right now.
Dude, hey, whenever all of this craziness is over, we will go. Me and my wife, I guess we still are. We're roller coaster fanatics. Like, okay, Kings Island is a part of this company called Cedar Fair. And for anybody that loves roller coasters out there, I suggest that they do this. You can get a platinum pass, and it's a few $100s, but you get your money's worth because you can get into any Cedar Fair amusement park for basically for free. I mean, you have to pay for the platinum card, but with that, you get unlimited free parking and unlimited free park visits. At least that's the way it was whenever we were doing it. So, we got to go to Kings Island and Cedar Point. There's a little place called Carowinds. Like, we hit every Cedar Fair park that we could within 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, it was so much fun. It's totally worth it.
Well, I'm saying it on record, on camera. When all this stuff's over, you can stay here. We'll go to Kings Island. We'll do it. We'll make it happen.
We'll do it, man. And have you ever heard of Cedar Point?
Yeah. I think I've actually been to Cedar Point. I mean, it had to have been when I was a kid, so I can't really remember if it was. I know it said Cedar. It's got to be Cedar Point, right?
And it's close to y'all too because it's northern Ohio, right outside of Dayton. I think it is. Well, it's Sandusky area, but they got like the second tallest roller coaster in the world up there.
Oh my God!
It's 420 feet tall.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's awesome. They have 3 roller coasters there that are so tall you can see Canada from the top of them.
Are you serious?
Yes. Well, it's right on the border of Canada. Like it's right there on Lake Erie, one of the Great Lakes.
Oh yeah.
And right across the lake is Canada. So
well, that makes sense. Then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they say like that, like it's a big thing, but you can clearly just see Canada right over there. You're right there beside it. Of course, you can see Canada, but it's still cool. It's still cool. And like if you spend enough time there, you actually meet Canadian people because like people from Canada will come over there, and it's trippy to like just hear somebody with a completely different accent and way of life. Just get to talk to them about it. Canadians are cool.
Yeah. Well, speaking of accents, it's actually kind of weird too because I kind of feel like I don't fit in either region now because I feel like I have somewhat of my southern draw is still there a little bit. Mm-hmm. But so when I go down to Kentucky, I'm told that like, where'd your accent go? Like you talk different now, but when I'm in Ohio, everybody thinks I have a southern accent. So I like have this like middle ground accent that like I don't belong anywhere now.
It's a really weird feeling. I had the same thing because I moved here from middle Georgia. So I had like the southern drawl accent going on, like the southern hospitality style. And then up here you get around the hillbilly twang. And I'm a weird mixture of both now since I've been here so long. But it's weird just whenever you move to a completely different place almost.
Oh yeah, my wife says it was really really thick when I first moved up, and now it's tapered off just a little bit. It's tapered off.
Hey, it's
That's all I got. I'll be here all week.
and that's the podcast, folks. There we go.
That's it. See y'all later.
But I wanted to talk about the new. Well, you're working on the EP. It's an EP, right?
Yeah, I've been using the word release because it to me, I don't know if it's. I'll put it this way: Polygenre was 10 songs, which was my first release, and this one is 5 songs, and it's almost the same duration of time. So it's like you're getting 5 less songs, but it's still like over 30 minutes. So I mean, I guess technically it's an EP, but yeah, it's 5 tunes.
Do you know like what makes an EP, an EP, an LP, an LP? Ain't it like an EP is up to 6, I think, and an LP is up to 8?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's like I don't know like the actual definition, but I know there's like some sort of gray area. When you start getting to like 6 and 7, that's when it kind of is like whatever you want to call it. And but I mean, I guess technically, yeah, it's an EP because it's 5 tunes. It's just interesting that it's half the songs and the same amount of time as like a 10-song album that I did.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Aquarium, 5 songs. Dope.
Looking forward to it, man. You sent me a new track today to listen to. I'm not going to say the name of it or anything. I don't know how you want to go about that.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I don't have enough people that follow my stuff that it matters.
Well, Vacation is a great name for this song, and it's just I can't wait to listen to it during summertime. It's going to be so awesome, man. It's I don't know how to explain it. How would you explain it? Like if somebody asked you, like, what does it sound like?
So like the particular song,
particular song? Like just like the EP as a whole, like the whole project. What would be the vibe, or how would you even explain it?
That's interesting. I've never been asked that question. I think there's definitely a mix of like there's like a hint of jazz in there, and then which the cool thing about jazz is it's such a vague term. Jazz could be anything nowadays, I feel like. But I mean, there's some prog rock stuff, there's some jazz stuff going on, there's some fusiony stuff. It's a little funky sometimes. But the stuff that I usually write, each track is pretty diverse from the one before, and that's not intentional. I just write a lot of songs that at a lot of different times. And Vacation in particular, that's definitely like an islandy kind of song, but there's this weird like bluegrassy country section that just comes out of nowhere in the middle. And I had that song in my head. So what I do when I write songs is I typically have like a melody that's like kind of drifting around, and I won't embarrass myself by trying to sing the melody of Vacation, but you heard it. And I had that in my head for a while, and it went really well with like some sort of like islandy kind of Caribbean-esque almost theme. And in the middle of it, man, I just could not get away from this riff in D on this exact guitar. And I was like, man, F it. I'm putting it in there. Like I'm doing it. And it was kind of like an homage to my roots too, because I don't do country stuff. I mean, I play country stuff for other people, but I just don't naturally write country stuff. Yeah. And it's just this weird country bluegrassy section. And the trick is like, okay, I did it. How do I get out of here and get back to the island stuff, you know? So anyway, that's how I would describe it, I guess. But
I could all flow together. I like it. I would explain it as like if you're in Hawaii on Adderall. That's a good way to explain it, I think so. It's but man, like it's I was thinking of this whenever I was listening to the song, because yeah, like it just out of nowhere goes to that bluegrass part. Whenever you're working on a song, do you just like play something and hope that it sounds good, or do you have like an idea in your mind of where you want to go with the song? Like, how does that process work?
It's kind of a bit of both. So my music, because there's a whole genre now called experimental, which I would not say that I'm that, but
is that really a genre?
Yeah, experimental music. It's I can send you some stuff after this. It's wild. Cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty experimental musically, and I typically do have, like you said, a place where I want to go. So I do typically have a place where I want to go, but I'm totally open to experimentation to try to get there. And sometimes what I will experiment with won't get me there, and sometimes it will take me somewhere else. So yeah, I would definitely say that I have a place that I'm trying to get to, and then the path to get to there I mean, I equate it to, a mad scientist just pouring stuff in a bottle, seeing what fizzes. And I do that a lot. I record, one of my mottos is I record everything. And then, because you don't really know what it sounds like until you're listening back to it, because you have an idea of what it's going to sound like in your head, but you don't know what it audibly sounds like until you put it down. So my motto is record everything and then get rid of the bad ideas and keep the good ideas. So that's typically how I do it.
Yeah, when I sent you some links to some stuff that I used to do back in the day, and yeah,
which was super good, by the way. That's a well-kept secret, you insane person.
I don't know about all that now, but
like, it's true.
That's what I used to do though. Like I would just that was back in my college days, so I would just have fun, and then I just throw a bunch of stuff together and kind of hope that it sounds good. Sometimes it did, most of the time it didn't. But it's fun. Like whenever, I guess you can do that with any art. Whenever it comes to painting, or I do that. Me and my wife, we make shirts, and sometimes I'll do that. Like I'll just put a bunch of colors together, and don't know if it's going to come out good or not, and then all of a sudden it does. It's cool to. It's just good when. It's good when it goes good.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of aquarium was. I like the word color too, because I mean a lot of people equate notes with colors a lot, and you really do kind of put in different colors to see if it creates the picture that you want. And I mean a lot of aquarium was that. I mean Fly is the first track, and it has some gospel elements in it, some cool gospel bass lines. It's got some classic fusion guitar tone and licks and stuff. It's got, I'm a very stabby writer, and what I mean by that is there's a lot of stabby grooves that that I implement into stuff. And then, like the very next song is the vacation song we're talking about, and then the song after that is that's more like a traditional, I would say a more traditional jazzy tune. With a lot of newer, there's a bunch of newer guys in the jazz realm right now that is probably inspired by a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, everything that I do is kind of about that. There's a lot of you put in different colors to see what fits, I think.
I can see experimental being the category that you fall in. That's just weird that they call it experimental. Like back in the day, whenever somebody would do something kind of out of the realm of a certain genre, it was labeled as alternative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know they changed it to experimental. It's kind of like Pluto. You don't know if it's a planet or not. It's one of those weird things.
Experimental music is, at least from my take of it, is there's a lot of like really funky stuff that goes. I mean, people like dropping glass plates that break, and then they'll put a ton of reverb on it and reverse it 10 times and pan it every which direction. And so experimental music is more of like an audible experience than anything else. But actually, I've been doing something that we've talked about before. I'm doing these little deals where like people have been sending me in videos where they're singing for maybe like 45 seconds to a minute. And then I go in and, record as much craziness as I can over top of it and try to build like a composition out of it. And I've actually been live streaming the last one that I'm working on because I figured out how to do it. So it's like really cool. And I didn't know how to do it before. But you can actually, if you watch those live streams, you can see me in the process. I mean, it's experimental is the word for it. I mean, you can see me like going, okay, he's hitting a B flat. Do I want to go to a, whatever? And the last one I did was an hour long. I mean, you can watch me for an hour in this very room, take, somebody singing for 45 seconds with nothing behind it and try to build something out of it. So it's a cool little, if you're into that kind of stuff, it's something I think fun to watch.
That's cool, man. And it's neat that we have so much to our ability now that the stuff that we can create nowadays is truly endless. Mm-hmm. It's all thanks to technology. Back in the day, you only had like drums and a guitar, a harp or something like that, just string and wind instruments. And now with something like this beside me here, you can do a lot of stuff, man. And the thing is, though, people have been doing this for a while. Like, I guess the experimental genre. Do you ever hear of stomp?
Is that a genre?
No, it's a. Well, whenever
I don't know anything.
Whenever I heard of it, we watched it in. I was in band. I was a band nerd, as they say.
Oh, I was too. All in. I still am.
I'm a proud band nerd, man. Love
Daggone right, dude.
But it was a movie that we watched in there, and people created music with just off the wall stuff. Sometimes they use trash cans.
Hmm.
Sometimes they use like brooms or basketballs, and created like full drawn out songs with just these household items a lot of times. It was so cool, man. So it goes to show, I mean, you don't need all this fancy technology stuff to even get a little bit crazy and do some weird stuff. You can get a basketball and make a song.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you remember or not, but there's a song called Fossil Rue on Polygenre. I don't know if you've heard that
Yeah.
one. And then there's a song called Fossil 2 where I had that melody in my head, da-da-da-da-da-dum, and I was like, okay, I had two different ideas with it. And I just kind of said, like, screw it. I'll make two separate songs with that melody, but make them drastically different from each other. Because one of them is more like how like an indie prog band would do it, and the other one I kind of went for a jungle-esque kind of thing. And almost all of the percussion in Fossil 2 was pots and pans that I made a cheeseburger with yesterday. Like almost all of it was. I had pots and pans. I was bringing glasses in, and like almost all of it. And I had a Tums, like a little bottle of Tums,
Yeah.
and that was my shaker because I don't own any shakers. And so if you ever hear a shaker on my stuff, it's probably Tums. And yeah, I mean, but I go, man, I want a bunch of percussion stuff, and I don't have it. And so I just started going through my cabinets. So yeah, I mean, you can make a lot of stuff sound really cool, and nobody will be the wiser.
One of the first people I ever seen do something crazy like that was Brennan Meat, for everybody out there. But
Oh yeah.
he used like a trash can as a bass drum. And I'm like, man, you can do stuff like that. It seemed so weird to me at the time. But yeah, I don't know. Us humans, we're some crafty little creatures.
Yeah, Brennan is notorious for that, which, by the way, Brennan is one of my best friends on the entire planet. Massive shout out to him. You probably know this, but he mixed and mastered all of Polygenre, and he is the one in the process right now mixing Aquarium. And yeah, and he's really what's the word? He's resourceful is the right word. He's
That's a
the
good
MacGyver
word.
of music. And I've said this before to you, but like he sees the big picture. I feel like where like I'm usually toying with, if you watch the live stream of me I'm working with doing one for Brett Higgins right now, the phone video audio thing I was talking about earlier. I'm focused on 3 seconds at a time. Like he'll sing these 3 notes here, and I'm focused on that. And when I get that done, I'll move to the next 3 seconds and so on. And I'm very focused on like in the moment, that little thing. And Brennan has, I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like he has the whole composition in his head of where he's wanting to go. And
Yeah.
he is willing to use anything to get there.
You and him, like y'all are on just two totally different levels whenever it comes to music. Like it's just see that's what I love about yours and his style is I've never heard anything else like it. I like it
Well, I
whenever
appreciate
somebody
that.
can stand out. I'm a huge Kanye fan. I know that people have their opinions about Kanye, especially after this year. But whenever it comes to his music, that dude, he makes stuff that has never been heard before or never been done before. It's totally new sounds to my ears. And that's what I like about yours and Brennan's music, aka Collective. People go check him out. But
Yeah, for real.
speaking
Go
of
check
that,
out Collective. I played on it.
what all did you play in Collective?
So I played I played guitar, I think all of the electric guitar parts. I played bass on a few songs. I played a plethora of keyboard parts. I don't know if I helped with any of the percussion stuff or not. I don't know if I did any vocals on it either. To be honest with you, when you're talking about Brennan, you're talking about hundreds of tracks. And I sent him probably hundreds of tracks. And we kind of do this thing where, kind of what I was saying earlier, where we record everything. He's the same way. We record everything and see what fits. So I would just send him just mountains of tracks and then let him place and pick and put what he wants. But I mean, I played guitar, bass, and then keys. And then he played, a ton of keys. He's a multi-instrumentalist as well. So, I mean, he played a ton of keys. He played bass on some stuff. I mean, sang like a beast, acoustic guitar. But yeah, I think that's what I played on it. I guess that's a lot.
Who all is playing on Aquarium?
Oh, so I am playing everything but the drums. So I did all the guitar parts, the keyboard parts, the bass parts. And, when I say keyboard parts too, like that could be a million different, like if you hear strings, that's me on keys playing the strings. If you hear synths, obviously that's going to be a keyboard part. And then I cut a few vocal tracks, not lyrical vocal tracks, but a lot of oohs and ahs and stuff like that. But Devin Lay played drums on all the songs. And this is a fun fact about Devin. Every single song that you're going to hear from Aquarium, he did it in one take. There's no overdubs. So when you heard Fly, Aquarium, and Vacation, that was all one take. He didn't do any overdubs from start to finish. He played that whole song. And you know how good that, like, his drumming is. Like, it's crazy.
Dude, that don't even make sense.
Yeah, there was zero overdubs.
Crazy. I
have the videos because we plan on doing some videos where he videoed himself doing all of the drum parts. So I have videos of me doing all the other instruments, and we're going to make some cool playthrough videos and stuff. And yeah, it's like if the song is 3 minutes and 57 seconds long, he has a 3 minute and 57-second video of him playing that take. It's unbelievable. Like,
wow, man.
And he came in and killed it. Like, yeah, he's so good. He's so good.
You find some people that are so talented, it kind of makes you jealous. You're like, why can't, like Brennan, great example. The music that he does, and then the photography that he's been doing too. It's just the dude can do everything.
He just like picked that up on a whim. He was like, yeah, I kind of want to get into that. It's like something I'm interested in. And then he's like killing it. Like in 3 days.
Off a National Geographic or in a magazine. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, hey, I've started getting photography, dude. What do you think about this picture? And I was like, all right, where'd you get, what website did you get this from? You're lying.
So I've heard 3 of the, I guess, 5 songs that are going to be on Aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the other 2?
The other 2 are still in the mixing phase. So the 3 that I sent you, just because we're buddies and I want you to hear my stuff, but the 3 that I sent you are basically completely done. There's a couple like tweaks that I have on some certain, not mix wise. It's actually my problem. There's like a couple times where like maybe I rushed or something like editing like that, where I might overdub it and send it back to him. But the other 2 are just straight up in the mixing phase still. And he's getting them sounding as good as he can. And I mean, they're sounding cool. I mean, I'm really digging them. And I mean, something I was going to say about Devin, by the way, is first of all, monster drummer. I think everybody that knows Devin knows that, but he's also the most humble person I've probably ever met in my entire life. And when I say that, I mean, if he's listening to this right now, he is recoiling at that I'm talking good about him. Like, that's how he is. And, so yeah, I mean, I just wanted to throw that out there. That Devin Lay, I think he's doing session work right now, and if somebody's listening and needs drums on something, there's going to be plenty of examples of him in the coming future. So that was just worthy of being said. He's that kind of guy. He's just so good, and he wants to get in there, do what he needs to do, get out, and have fun along the way.
How do you partner up with most of your collaborators? Or is it like people that you've known your entire life, or you meet via the internet, or just like group circles? How does that work?
So me and Devin actually played drums in Carnival Giant for a good amount of time, which was a band that I started with a few buddies. And so, I mean, we had known each other from that. And I mean, we've spent hours in rehearsal rooms and on stage together. And it was kind of weird because I had everything but the drums tracked for Aquarium, and I was thinking about wanting to get acoustic drums and who could I get. And like that day, he put up a picture of his home studio setup and was like, hey, I'm doing sessions if anybody's interested. And I was like, there couldn't be a more perfect fit than the guy who last played drums with me for so long. So him specifically, we had already known each other. Brennan, obviously, we've known each other for years. So, I mean, he's involved in, I mean, he gets like, producing credits on my stuff because he's really involved in the production of my stuff. And so there's that. And then you know, a lot of it's word of mouth, friend to friends. And I mean, there's been I have kind of a weird announcement on this topic. I'm actually already working on the next 5 songs for the next release, and they're all like 90% done. With that, there's going to be a lot more musicians playing on that. I don't want to say who yet. I've gotten some tracks back from some pretty big guys, which is cool. And some of them I'm still waiting on, so I don't want to say names yet, just in case anything, you know, falls through or anything. But I mean, a lot of these guys that are playing on the next one was social media, was the internet, was somebody I liked a video and commented on it, said, man, that's cool. And then they watched my video, and then, you know, we start DMing each other, man, we should do something. You know, we have the technology, we can do it. And yeah, I mean, there's a 3rd release almost done, like in the back with a ton of musicians on it. Like, it's going to be awesome. Like, I'm mostly a solo guy. I do a lot of stuff by myself. Polygenre was all by myself. I mean, Brennan doing the production side of it, but I mean, I did all of that myself. And Aquarium is me and Devin. And this next one, I really wanted to pull in some of my friends and say, hey, you know, there's a 30-second pass here. Do it. Just do something. Like, go for it. And yeah, so a lot of it's that, but I'm pretty excited. There's a lot of, I've got about 20 songs on my hard drive right now that are in process.
You need to have a theme. Okay, you've done Aquarium. Now the next one needs to be the zoo. And after that, it's going to be reptile exhibit. The other one's going to be like parrot enclosure, like they have in their Dollywood. Yeah.
That's a metal band if I've ever heard one in my life. Parrot Enclosure. It's on, dude.
That's actually a really good band name. I've done that so much, man. I'll just like think of like little words, like somebody will say something like that, and yeah, just come up with like little band names all the time.
Oh, well, that's definitely one. That's the next one. It's done. It's set in stone. You're getting a credit for it, a writing credit.
Nice. I'm expecting full royalties.
Yeah, you'll get about $11 over the rest of your life.
The promos that you've done for this are genius too, by the way. One of the best promos that I've ever seen in my life was the video. Like, it looks like something that you would see off of Lifetime or Hallmark. It's like all soft, sensual music, and then it's like all the bad music reviews. That's hilarious, man. That's really good. Where did you come up with that?
So it's kind of sad how I came up with it, but it just comes with the territory of playing the type of music that I do. But it's typically musicians like my music, and people that aren't musicians either think it's okay or don't like it at all. For example, you know, my sister is not a musician, and she hates it. Just absolutely thinks that I'm terrible and that everything's bad, which is fine. And but I you know, released Polygenre, and I'll admit there's some like hard to listen to songs on that album. And yeah, I just started getting. I mean, I got a lot of people that said they liked it and stuff, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I write what I write, and I like what I like. And I got an equal amount of comments and reviews that hated it. And so, but some of the comments were funny. Like, they were like actually funny. Like this one guy said, this is one of the quotes that's in that promo video, but this one guy said, "This is very interesting, but I will never listen to this again." And then, I mean, just stuff like that. And so reading all these just cracks me up. And I just had in my head, like, wouldn't it be funny if I had like this super like dead serious, like Tabor from the year 2018 AD. There was a man who yada, yada, yada. And then when he starts actually reading what people have said about it, it's all the terrible, you know, reviews and not the funny or not the good ones. And then right at the end, and the whole time, if you haven't seen the video, I'm acting as if I can just hear this mysterious voice and I don't know where it's coming from. And I talk about like, man, he's getting pretty mean. Like, he's saying a lot of mean stuff. I'm like talking to my wife, like, you don't hear that. And then, you know, at the end I give a little teaser. But I went on Fiverr and found a guy. I just typed in like British narration and found a guy. His name's Brian. And I gave him the script. I wrote that whole script in. I wrote the script, got all of the video footage, got the music, and edited the entire video and got his track and put his track in there within 5 hours. That from the idea of I want to do that to when I posted it was 5 hours. And that seems to be my golden number, because I feel like I say that all the time. But yeah, I showed him the script. He said it was hilarious, said he wanted to do it, paid him, and put it out. And it was, I mean, it made me laugh. But yeah.
It was good stuff, man. It really was. Like, so what else do you have planned for the album? Are you going to do like any videos or anything like that?
Yeah. We're going to do, I know we're at least going to do 3 playthrough videos. So, and what's cool is the videos are going to be the actual takes. So these aren't like I've tracked the whole thing and then went back and played overdubbed over it or whatever. So I recorded myself playing most everything, and so did Devin. And we plan on doing like 3 playthrough video, you know, just if you've seen any videos that I put up, just the multiple panels of different things going on. And so I plan on doing that at least. I have actually, I don't want to say it yet, but I do have another idea for another funny video that I think would just be ridiculous. And I might do another one of those like promo things, a little less oriented on how bad everybody thinks I am, but just another funny video nonetheless. And but yes, some playthrough video. I thought about maybe if there was a demand for it, maybe doing like a limited run vinyl release of this, maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And yeah, I think that's what I got in stock right now. But I'm ever evolving. Hopefully, I'll come up with something cool by tomorrow. You know.
So, like, are you going to try to do any touring with Aquarium? See, like, to me, like certain people, especially like you and Brennan, it's hard for y'all to play shows, I would imagine. See, like, whenever I was in college, I took the history of rock and roll, and they were talking about the Beatles' "Tomorrow Never Knows." And yeah, that's a great Beatles song if anybody hasn't heard it. But they got so experimental during that song that they could never perform it live. I'd say they could nowadays with all the gear and technology that we have, but back in the 60s, yeah, you couldn't do that. They made a song that they couldn't create live. So are you going to try to do anything with Aquarium, or is that going to be kind of a difficult task for you?
Well, a lot of the stuff in Aquarium is actually very doable. Like, I mean, I would like to do, I mean, there's some like effecty kind of stuff, but even like you said, nowadays it's easier than ever to pull some of those things off. I mean, honestly, I would need at minimum another keyboard player and a drummer, and then I could play keys and guitar at the same time, and not like literally, not literally at the same time, but I could switch back and forth pretty easily. And at most, what I would like to have is another keyboard player, a bass player, and well, I don't want to say at most. Preferred would be a bass player, a keyboard player, and a drummer. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I have loads of buddies that I could reach out to if I wanted to do some. I mean, me and Devin had talked about doing that, like finding a couple other guys and just doing like little small 30-minute sets wherever. And there's a guy in Nashville, a super huge shout out to this guy named Nathan Sletner, who I ended up being social media buddies with. And, we've talked for like a long time now, and he's interested in doing some stuff drum wise. Yeah, I mean, so I've thought about it. I'm actually not like a huge gigging guy. I like playing with other people a lot, but I don't really gig that much. It's kind of I'm more of like what's the word? I'm more comfortable in a setting where I have unlimited time to just create stuff, and then when you're like playing live, you're kind of performing what you've already created. And I'm not very what's the word? Where you have stage presence. I don't have a lot of stage presence. And I'm not a good performer, I guess, is when it comes to like stage presence and stuff like that. So I feel like I kind of get up on stage, play all the songs, and then I walk off, and then I'm like, there you go. And if I need to definitely hit the shed on that a little bit, like working on ways to make it more interesting to watch. Cause that's another critique that I've gotten is they're like, man, we loved the set. We loved your songs, but like you didn't look up the whole time. And like, we all would kind of find our little, in Carnival Giant, we would find our little 2 foot by 2 foot boxes. We would kind of stay there. And, which is kind of why I like the smaller shows. Cause I had an opportunity to, try some new stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely up there though. I mean, I would like to, like I said, I've got a few friends that I think would be down to do stuff, and it's just a matter of reaching out to them and rehearsing.
Is it hard to like find places to perform? Because like I was saying earlier, for me, like I have to be really picky about what venues I choose to where I can do my material at. Is that the same for you?
A little bit. With Brennan, his hard part, like the hard part for him is he has to find a place with a big enough stage to
I
fit
was
all
going
the
to say
musicians.
exactly that. Man. Hey, the collective is like the Appalachian Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, they've got
Oh
like
yeah.
there's so many members.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had 13 people last time I played with him. For me, yeah, I mean, I think there's a little bit of a genre barrier, but it's just like any other thing though. I mean, there's places out there that like certain things like that, and I mean, I couldn't go play Tootsie's in Nashville. I mean,
Yeah.
probably not, but there's some places in Cincinnati, like there's a place called the Octave that I've played original stuff there, the Chameleon. Um,
These all sound like places that are welcoming you with open arms with the names. The Chameleon and the Octane.
Octave with a V.
Octave, that's a great name.
Yeah, and dude, you should once again something else. I'll send you pictures of the Octave. It looks awesome. I've played Cosmic Charlie's in Lexington a couple times,
That's a
which
cool.
I heard that they're not a thing anymore.
I
Did
heard
they?
that too, man. Like, I've tried to stay off of social media as much as possible here lately, but I did hear somebody say that, and I haven't looked into it myself, but I hope that's not a thing, and that breaks my heart if it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had so much fun at Cosmic Charlie's. I've played with Carnival Giant there a couple times. I mean, we've played with Driftwood Gypsy. I don't know if you know who Driftwood Gypsy is.
Oh yeah, and that again, man, great band name.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. The singers are crazy good. Super. I mean, everybody's crazy good, but the singers got some harmonies. And yeah, I mean, I hate to hear that because I've had a ton of fun there. And so yeah, as far as like finding a place to go though, I mean, I think there's places. There's always some place. There's always some place you can go.
Man, if you could like hit up an actual aquarium for your album
Bro.
release party, man, that would be cool.
Bro, that would be cool. I never even thought of that. What's happening right now? Did we just become best friends?
I think there's so much room for activities. Such a great movie, man. I'm trying to leave like a place that would.
Well, I do have an idea for a release thing, but I don't know if I can make it happen. There's like one really easy route that I could take where essentially I would do like host some sort of live event on some sort of social media platform, probably Facebook, because I don't know how I could do it on Instagram. But have like play the whole album and then after each song kind of stop, maybe get Brennan involved because he mixed and mastered it, maybe get Devin involved if he'd want to, and just kind of have us all like together, and then after each song kind of talk about what we think about the song or how it came to be. Or Devin's perspective would be kind of interesting because the songs were essentially I mean, not only were they written, they were like tracked. And when I approached him, so he got like an almost finished product and played drums over that, and I gave him as many creative liberties as he wanted to take. I actually programmed drums and had like an idea, like a rough, like outline of what I wanted to do. And just, nothing too structured though. And sent it to him and he was like, how closely do you want me to stick to these programmed drums? And I was like, honestly, not at all. Like, you know what? Do whatever you want. And what I got back just, murdered me. So maybe do something like that where like he could give his perspective on how he approached, like there's a section of the song Aquarium where I don't exactly know what the time signature is. Honestly, I just ask Brandon Coleman everything because he knows everything. He wouldn't say that, but I think he does. But I'll go like, hey, what's going on here? I wrote this thing and I don't know how to word it. And but I can't remember what he said it was going on, but essentially you count to 9 and then you count to 11 and then the groove resets. And you could technically count to 20 and then it would reset, but you count to 9 and then there's an obvious reset of the groove and then it lasts 2 more beats in the measure. And then, so yeah, you count to 9 and you count to 11. And like when Devin sent back what he did on drums, because you got to think like most songs are in 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 11, and then the groove starts over. And some of the stuff that he did, man, just I'm glad that I didn't tell him what to do, is what I'll say. So having him talk about it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, these people that like know that music theory and just like the complexity of a song, like it's mind blowing to like really hear y'all go in such depth. Because the normal people like us that are just listening to it, we don't know what the 9 or 11 thing is. To us, it's a song. Is that the same thing that Pink Floyd done with Money? Didn't they do something like that? That was like an offbeat because like do 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 do
Yeah, I
do
think it's
do.
in 7, if I remember right.
Yeah, they done something like that.
Yeah, there's that Money's in 7. So like I know enough to like know. I mean, I counted it just so I wouldn't sound like an idiot if I was wrong. But like I knew enough to know that like that was in 7 pretty much immediately. And then, but I don't know like when it. So I know stuff like that. Like I can read charts, so like Nashville charts. So like if somebody wrote me out number charts and said the song was an F, I mean, I would know what the 5 is and what the 4 is, and if it was a flat third or whatever. Like I could tell you those kind of things. But like some of my stuff that I write, some of it I know how to count it. Like I know that I count to 9, then I count to 11, and then the groove resets. And but I don't know if like that has a name or not. Like, is that a thing? Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have messaged Brandon Coleman in the late of the night, and somebody has commented on one of my things and been like, hey, what kind of scales were you using on that? And I like, no, it's in a major scale, but I don't know exactly if there's like a particular one. And I have sent the video to Brandon and went, hey, some guy just asked me what scale this was in. Do you know? They'd be like, oh yeah, that's in the whatever. And then I'll reply to the comment like I knew what it was. And so, yeah, thanks, Brandon.
It's good to have good friends like that in your life. And I don't even think like it's good to know that type of stuff. But whenever I was messing around and making music on my laptop or whatever, to me, if it sounds good, it sounds good,
Well, that's definitely true. I think having like some music theory knowledge, it only gives you more tools in your tool belt.
Yeah.
So a lot of people look at it like, not everybody, but I've heard people say like it almost takes the magic away kind of thing. If you know the science of it, if that's what you want to call it. But I look at it as like you have a tool belt, and the more things that you know, the more tools you're putting in there. So that way, I mean, you'll see me do this I'll probably be doing a live stream where I'm going to try to finish up Brett Higgins' stuff for that video that he sent. And you'll see me a lot of times, go, okay, well, he's hitting a B. I know a B is a fifth of an E, but this song is in, B minor. So what if I hit an E major, and it would just throw everything out the window? And like, you'll hear me like, I'm using those tools though. Like the fact that I know that B is the fifth of E gives me an opportunity to maybe dabble around in some sort of E thing,
Yeah.
And that's a really not professional way to say anything that I just said, but that's how I look at it. I look at it like that. I mean, you'll see me do that a lot if you watch any of those live streams. I'll kind of figure out exactly what run he's doing, and then be like, is there a way that I could put that in this key now, and then modulate up, and then figure out how to get back down. And,
it's fascinating, man. Like, see, like music and math are very similar to me, to where it's almost like its own language. And if you put these certain numbers together, or like in music, if you put these certain notes together, you're going to get this. Like it's, like you said, it's a science. And it's so fascinating, especially like whenever you start seeing, have you seen like the vibrations that come out of hitting a certain note? And like people have done this like with sand, like how the vibrations will affect the sand, and it prints out like it almost like it makes these like
geometric shapes or something.
Yeah, like geometric shapes. Yeah, I'm very tired right now. I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm running on fumes at this point.
Oh my gosh, that's some big boy time right there.
I'm telling you, man. And yeah, for anybody that's like, we pre-record this, by the way, it's almost 7 o'clock at night. So yeah, running on fumes. But like the geometric patterns that the vibrations turn out, that is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And
it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's natural for it to be that way.
Yeah, it's wild, man. And like, what's cool is there are like I feel like some people have certain rules, like, technically like a C and a C sharp, hitting them at the same time is very jarring, and it's very like, the frequencies are so close that it makes like a brrr sound, like it's really jarring. But what's cool is at certain times in certain contexts, a C and a C sharp at the exact same time is what builds the tension that gives you the release later. So the music theory I'll say this again, but my music theory knowledge is extremely, it's not book smarts. It's like it's the street smarts of like, yeah, I heard that once and now I know that, my music theory knowledge is not what it should be. Forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, music's cool. What's up? Yeah, I mess up sometimes. But,
I think that's a good way to end this, man.
Oh, yeah. Now we have both officially so I didn't get up at 5, but I definitely got up super early. And for everybody else who doesn't know, I drove from work, walked into this house, sat down, and we started calling each other. So I have done nothing but work and talk to you all day. And one of those things was better than the other. It was talking to you.
Hey, same here, man. But it's been fun. And I'm looking forward to next time. Hopefully we can get back together whenever you're ready to release Aquarium.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, dude, we'll for sure do it. I've listened to 3 songs, and to anybody out there, look forward to this. Do you know when it might be released? I know you're saying 2021, but like, do you have a certain time of the year that you're shooting for or anything, or just whenever?
Shooting for late spring, early summer, definitely. Yeah. Last meeting you talked, I was a little more vague on not really knowing when, but I would say, yeah, late spring, early summer. I think that's the goal right now.
You need to go to an actual zoo and record like actual dolphin sounds or like penguins, like something like that, and include that on the record. That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. I guarantee you we could find some dolphin samples. Me and you let's figure that out.
Like record actual dolphins.
Oh, well, that would
Don't
be
rip
nice.
off anything off of YouTube or anything. Just get an actual microphone, bring it to a zoo, and record some dolphins.
Man, that would be dope. We should do that. Let's go together. Let's me and you go to a zoo.
And if the dolphin has a name, which I'm sure they do, a lot of zoos will name the animals. You can say featuring Daphne the dolphin or whatever.
Or maybe I should just change my name to Daphne the dolphin because I actually kind of like that too.
It's a great name. But, man, it's been fun. I'm looking forward to next time. And for anybody that wants to check out the incredible music of Tabor Mullins, where do they do that?
So I'm going to take this opportunity to do 2 things. I actually want to promote a lot of other musicians who you need to go listen to a lot of people. Like, it's cool if you like my stuff. But if you type in Tabor Mullins in any search engine, I'm the only one that exists. So there you go. But for real, go check out Collective by Brennan Meek. Go check out Mirrored Image. Listen to Eli's stuff. Support your friends. Sean Whiting, Brother Smith. There's a million of you. It's all so good. And a lot of cool stuff is coming out of the Appalachian area and elsewhere. These bands we've talked about on the podcast today, like Tigran and Snarky Puppy and Humphreys McGee, my dad's band Down to the River. I don't want it all to be about me. Like, I want to take this opportunity to tell you to go listen to everybody. Go listen to everybody. If you want to find me, I'm the only Tabor Mullins that exists. It's just a weird name. So you're going to find me, but go check out everybody we've talked about for real.
Dude, again, it has been awesome. I'm looking forward to next time, man. And anytime you want to chat, dude, just hit me up and we'll make it happen, man.
Oh, I'll call you tomorrow.
Sounds good, man. But, dude, you be safe up there in Ohio. Stay warm. And I'm looking forward to next time, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.